Greetings, hello, and so this will be a quick video. No lessons today, no 3-step process. I just want to share that. So yes, if you're new here, I am Ms. Joyce Pollard. I am a mompreneur success coach, and I empower mompreneurs to navigate life, business, and babies, to actually start living, to build that better life that we dream about, that we want so much, that our dream goals and desires can manifest, right? And I do that using the Better Life Blueprint for Success, because in order for life to get better, we must do better. So today's video, I just want to share that if God has given you a message, He's giving you a mouth. And He's giving you a mouth, you should be getting that message out there. Oftentimes we go through difficulties in life and we feel like, they can either make us bitter or they can make us better. So if those difficulties make us better, it means that we kind of detach from the loss but remember the lesson, right? So if, like me going through a divorce, and I say the divorce because I don't own it. I don't say my in front of it because it just makes me feel a little funny, right? But me going through that situation, I felt like a failure. I felt defeated. I felt like unsuccessful. I felt unworthy. I've had a lot of feelings, but ultimately going through the healing journey, I literally said that, one day God would make it make sense. And that is what He did. It was a few years later where God showed me that everything that I had gone through was because I wanted to be better. I wanted to be someone that others could come to when they were going through something, right? And we can't really pick what our message is going to be. We don't always choose the place of pain. But I will say that there is promise on the other side of pain. And that's if we learn the lesson from it, we use our message to impact others, and we don't stay in the mess. We don't stay in the place of stress. We don't stay in that place of discomfort, of depression. Like, so much happened on the other side of that. And just to share a little bit, when I had gone through the situation with the divorce, it literally was like maybe a few years prior, where I was doing hair, and I was very selfless. Well, selfish. I was very selfish. I want to say selfish. I would be like, I was very self-absorbed. I was in my little bubble, worried about myself. Life was great. But the only thing is, I felt like I had no value, right? Like, I would have people come to me to get their hair done, and literally somebody would be hurting, and I would tell them, I'm gonna pray for you, or I would tell them, come visit my church, and I never followed up. I would tell them I would pray for you, and it was rarely. I probably like, God, whatever she's going through, help her. And that was it. Like, I never stood in the gap, and I didn't know how to. So I remember one time this girl coming to get her hair done, this lady coming to get her hair done, and she seemed very, very distraught. She was very down, and I'm assuming that her hopes was that her hair was going to allow her to feel better, right? Getting her hair done to feel good on the outside, even though she was breaking down, like she was in despair on the inside. I literally I was like, oh my gosh, like, this girl is really going through it. And I had nothing of value to say. Like, she was going through a breakup, something was going on at work, and I just was like, girl, hang in there. And she walked out the door, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, I didn't have any words of encouragement, any words of wisdom to give her. And I remember praying and saying, God, I want to be somebody of value. I want to be someone that not only makes somebody look good on the inside, not on the outside, but I want to help someone feel good on the inside, the things that people can't see, right? And baby, they say be careful what you ask God for, because you gonna get it. You might get it, but I say it's not gonna be wrapped up in a pretty package with a bow on it and delivered by Amazon. Like, you're gonna have to go through something, because how could I ultimately tell someone how to bounce back, how they could rebuild, how they could recover if I had never gone through anything myself? So I went through a series of events, whether it was like the divorce, whether it was like friendships, the foreclosures, just going through a season that I felt rejected. I felt lost. I felt like nobody understood me, and the enemy was literally trying to play with my mind. I thought it was the enemy, but I don't know if it was part of God's plan. But that ultimately, I can't get caught in that. More so, it's the lesson that I learned along the way. And I've learned that if God gives me a message, my obedience, my breakthrough, my success is on the other side of being obedient, of speaking up, of using my mouth to share the message. So if God has given you a mouth, God has given you a mouth, and He's giving you a message, it's time to move. Thank you for watching, and now I'm going to start my day. Toodles.